Hi guys! Welcome to my first film, TV, book related video of 2015. I'm so excited to be filming this. It was something that this morning I just decided that I quite fancied filming. I just wanted to have a bit of a chat about the things that I'm watching at the moment, things that I'm planning to watch throughout the month of January, things that I'm reading at the moment, and really just have a bit of a casual chat about it. Last year I did my television resolutions for 2015. I do want to do an update on that, which I will film maybe at the weekend. I haven't decided yet, but I do want to do an updated version of that. But today, this is what I felt like filming, so I hope that you enjoy it. So the first thing that I am watching at the moment is 30 Rock. Now, this is the complete box set collection, which Emma got me for my Christmas, which I hadn't expected to be getting, but was so excited when I opened it. I am such a massive fan of Tina Fey, so the fact that I haven't watched this yet is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know why it has taken me this long to decide to start it, but the fact that I now have the whole thing and I have it just in this amazing box set, which I love that it's in this like proper box, and then when you open it up you've got like the entire collection in this massive box set. So it is all 135 episodes that I have to sit and enjoy. I started watching this the other night. I've watched about 4 episodes so far and I absolutely love it. If you don't really know anything about 30 Rock, it is a show which was created by the incredible Tina Fey, and it is a comedy about comedy. So within the show, she is making a comedy show. So she is the producer and writer of a comedy television show, and so it's a comedy about making comedy. So I think that it's going to have quite a lot of interesting things to say about the comedy television world, and she's just a hero. So excited about this. The next thing that I'm watching at the moment is the first season of How to Get Away with Murder. Why it took me till now to start watching How to Get Away with Murder, I have no idea. I've heard nothing but positive things about this show, from Viola Davis' performance to Shonda Rhimes' creation of the show. Everything about it has just been getting such incredible praise, and I just hadn't got around to it. And it was actually just last night that I decided, oh, do you know what, I'll give it a shot. I'll watch the pilot episode and see how it goes. And before you know it, I had watched 4 episodes. It is absolutely addictive. It's gripping television. It is a show, a murder mystery. It's centred around a law professor and defence attorney named Annalise Keating, who is played by the fantastic Viola Davis, and she gets a group of students together basically to sort of train them up and have them help her work on actual cases. But woven into that is a sort of ongoing murder mystery, which kind of goes through each of the episodes. Each episode focuses on a different individual crime case that she's working on, but there is an ongoing kind of murder mystery sewn through the entire thing. The characters are really interesting and very well played so far. I really like the character of Wes, who's played by Alfred Enoch, I think his name is. He played Dean in the Harry Potter series, so when I saw that it was him, I don't know how I'd missed that it was him. When I saw him appear, I was so pleased for him because I like him, and he's very good in it. His accent's good, it works really well, and I'm totally sucked into this little universe already. So massive like double thumbs up for How to Get Away with Murder. Something else that I watched over the Christmas break was the Sherlock special, The Abominable Bride. If you watched it, let me know in the comments down below what you thought of it. I, for one, absolutely loved it. I thought that it was incredible. I saw a lot of people on Twitter who weren't huge fans of it, and the sort of reaction to it did seem to be quite split. My best friend is a huge Sherlock Holmes fan and always has been, so she was completely obsessed with it. And I like Sherlock Holmes, but I've not sort of read all of the books, and I'm not as sort of immersed in the world as she is, but I think I got it, and I understood what they were doing with it, and I thought that it was very cleverly written. I love the fact that Andrew Scott was back because I adore him. I think he's an absolutely incredible actor, and seeing that sort of tension between Sherlock and Moriarty back on screen was just, oh, it was so good. I absolutely loved it. I love Martin Freeman, he's incredible, and I felt that the sort of feminist undertone that was sort of put through this episode, I really enjoyed. I think there were certain aspects of it that some people took issue with. I didn't really. I actually really liked the way that they approached it, and I just couldn't have enjoyed it anymore if I tried. So massive thumbs up again for the Sherlock special. In terms of December viewing, I also binge watched season 6 of The Vampire Diaries over the Christmas break. I do this, I tend to I'm usually a year behind with The Vampire Diaries, and I get the box set when it comes out and then binge it over the Christmas break. and that's what I did, and I loved it. I know that most people have kind of given up a bit on the Vampire Diaries. They feel that it's kind of all gotten a bit old, and they've sort of just moved away from it now. But I thought it was fantastic. I wonder maybe if the reason that I enjoy it is because I leave it quite a long period of time between watching the series. So some of the stuff that does happen in it is probably quite repetitive, and it is probably quite similar to things that have happened in the show before. But because I leave it a kind of good year between watching the series, it feels quite fresh and new. And I love the characters. Damon Salvatore as a character is just one of my favourite characters ever, and I felt that what they did with his character in this series was really, really interesting. I'm not going to talk about it in any great depth. I might review it actually, because I'd like to talk about it in a little bit more depth, but I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it. But it was incredible. The finale was absolutely harrowing and heartbreaking and terrible, and I genuinely was stunned. And you shouldn't be stunned when you know a show likes to kind of do this to you, but I was just sitting in floods of tears. It was an emotional roller coaster. So throughout the month of January, I want to keep watching 30 Rock and How to Get Away with Murder. Pretty Little Liars is also coming back in just a few short days, which I'm very excited about. I'm really looking forward to it. I didn't know if I would be. I wondered if maybe I would have grown a little bit tired of it by now, but apparently not. I'm very excited for it to come back and find out what the new kind of angle of the mystery is, how they're going to manage to do this for what I think is only going to be 1.5 seasons. So yeah, really looking forward to that. And in terms of films, there are 3 films in the cinema that I'm really looking forward to seeing this month. They actually all came out last month, or around about the New Year time, and I haven't had a chance to go yet. So the first one that I'm going to go and see this week with Emma is Sisters. I'm on Tina Fey and Amy Poehler overload right now. So I'm going to go and see Sisters with Emma at some point in the next week. We also want to go and see Joy because Jennifer Lawrence is incredible, and I like the relationship that she's built with Bradley Cooper, Robert De Niro, David O. Russell, that little kind of team. I really enjoy seeing work together, and so I am very excited for Joy. And I also really want to go and see The Danish Girl. I think that it's a film that I will really enjoy the story of, but also I am really loving Eddie Redmayne at the moment. I think he's great. I really like him as a person. He's one of these actors who I think is an incredible actor, but I also think seems like a genuinely nice guy. And so I really like him right now, so I am looking forward to seeing it too. So that's what I'm watching at the moment. I am now going to talk about what I'm reading at the moment, because I am working my way through a couple of books right now, which I am absolutely loving. The first one is in a very similar theme to what I've already been talking about in this video, Bossy Pants by Tina Fey. I don't, again, much like 30 Rock, I don't know why I'm pointing at the box set as if you can see it, but I don't know why I haven't read this yet, but this is another thing that Emma got me for my Christmas, and I love her so much. And I was reading this last night in my bed. I started reading it yesterday, and I was crying with laughter at some of the parts that I've got to, and I think I'm only about 50 pages in, and I was crying with laughter at this book. She's just so funny and intelligent, and she writes so well, and she just observes the world in such an interesting way. And it's a personal book. It's a book about her life, about her childhood, about growing up, but just written in such a comical and clever way. And yeah, absolutely loving this. Love Tina Fey as a person. She just is incredible. So I'm reading that, and the other thing that I'm reading is a book that my mum got me for Christmas, and this is the official guide to the hit medical drama House. Now, if you've watched my channel, you'll know how addicted to House I got last year. I watched the entire show last year from start to finish between January and about October, I think, and I just thought that it was one of the most incredibly clever and well written character study television shows that I've ever seen in my life. And my mum obviously knew how addicted I was to it, so she got me this book for Christmas, and it's basically just a book about the making of the show, about the characters. It's got interviews with some of the actors in it, so you've got like a little interview with Jennifer Morrison, who we all know I love, and there's a foreword by Hugh Laurie, which is just one of the most brilliantly written things that I've read in a long time, and it's very, very, this is like my cup of tea in book form completely. Just studying a show that I love as much as this, and talking through a lot of the kind of background information, the way that the scripts were written and the way that the directing was approached, and all of that good stuff is worked into this book, so I'm absolutely loving this too. And the other thing that I want to read through January, which I have got on my Kindle, my battery's running low, better be quick, is Only Ever Yours by Louise O'Neill. This is a book that was very popular in the booktube community sort of halfway through towards the end of last year. A couple of my good friends have read it and just absolutely raved about it, said it's a must read. This is basically, as far as I know, a book about misogyny and sexism, and it's a sort of heightened world where women's place is they kind of grow up and get sort of made pretty, and a man chooses them to be their kind of wife and servant for the rest of their life kind of thing, and your kind of aim is to be one of these chosen ones. I'm very excited to read this, and I feel like it's something that will resonate a lot with a lot of what's going on in the world right now. And it's, as I say, I've heard only good things about this book, so I'm really keen to read this one. And finally, because music is a huge big part of my life and I very rarely talk about it here on YouTube, and I probably should talk about it more, I just thought that I would talk about what I've mainly been listening to recently. There's been a couple of people that I've really been loving over the past maybe couple of months. On YouTube, I have just fallen in love with Sleeping at Last. One of the bank adverts has one of his songs in the background. It's called I'll Keep You Safe, and it's an advert about a little boy and his dad, and there's a scarf involved, and they lose the scarf on a bus and someone brings it to them. You'll know what I'm talking about if you've seen it, but his music's in the background of that, and that's how I kind of stumbled across him, because I really liked that. And so I went onto YouTube and did a bit of research and found his kind of entire back catalogue of music, and I just absolutely love it. He has 2 albums called Atlas, and each track is called something like Sun, Moon, Venus, Mercury, Saturn, Earth, that kind of thing, and they are just completely and utterly beautiful pieces of music. And then he's got a lot of other sort of various tracks and things. He's covered a few songs in really interesting ways, and it's just beautiful. So I definitely recommend going and checking that out. Number 2 on my most recently listened to situation is a band called Wild Wild Horses. I discovered Wild Wild Horses because Jennifer Morrison directed a short film as a kind of music video for them for their EP. Their EP, which is called Ordinary Life, is made up of 4 incredible tracks, and Jennifer Morrison directed a kind of short film as a music video for the 4 of them collectively. So there's a 10-minute short film which is a music video for each of the 4 songs, but you can then watch them they work as individual music videos on their own. Each of the songs on the EP is fantastic. I absolutely love all of them. I've had them on repeat, and so I would absolutely, definitely recommend going and checking out Wild Wild Horses. I will link in the description box below the link for the music video, the short film, and you should go and watch it, because not only are the songs incredible, but it is an absolutely beautiful music video, short film. It's just perfect. I love it. There's a lot of scenes in the forest which appeals to me a lot, but I just love it. I think it's very, very clever and very kind of unsettling, but very beautiful, so go and watch it. And my final pick for my currently listening to is an album that I got for Christmas, because I have been listening to it non-stop on YouTube since, well, for a good few weeks now, but that is Badlands by Halsey. This is the album here. She is about 21, I think, and her music is just completely my cup of tea. I have a very sort of wide music taste, and I will listen to pretty much anything, but this album, this is sort of like dark, twisty, sort of, it's pop, but it's not quite pop, it's slightly alternative. The lyrics are very sort of dark and sexy and interesting, and if you listen to them, they tell very much a story. I just love it, and I think it's incredible, and I couldn't recommend it highly enough. So it's got very dark outside suddenly, and the light has gone to pot, but that really was the end of the video anyway. I hope that you enjoyed that. I just felt like chatting about some of the things that I'm loving reading and watching and listening to at the moment. Let me know in the comments down below what you are reading or watching or listening to, what your recommendations are for the month of January. And yeah, I hope that you had a great new year. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a lovely day, and I will speak to you soon. Bye!